The GMen Show 41. Here's your new OS. Kinda.
Yeah, it's the GMen Show. Talking fruit, tech, and ego. Hot takes, cold coffee. Still hitting every keynote. They roast your phone. No. They roast each other. Tips, rants, one after another. Is that a feature or just a bug? Either way, it gets a shrug. GMen Show. Turn it up. Let the fanboys know. Questions, rants, or a nerdy confession. Call in now. Join the obsession. 703-828-46777. 703-828-46777. Yeah!
And welcome everyone to the GMen Show. I'm Guy, and he's Dave.
Dave.
He's Dave. And we're gonna talk to Dave in just a second, but I gotta tell you, a not very subtle signal at certain regions of the world for WWDC 2026 when it was announced that features touted for the various devices running OS 27 may be delayed due to regulatory restrictions in the EU and China, in particular, S-Lady AI. The actual release and product availability for the OS should remain the same, however, with restrictions mostly for some of those features. And we're gonna talk about that in just a second. Meanwhile, hello, Dave. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing great. We are. How many days away are we from MacStock?
I was just on the site. It is 18 days, 17 hours, 16 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, before we go too much further, let's talk about that.
Sure.
MacStock, July 10th, 11th, and 12th at Crystal Lake, Illinois, at the Holiday Inn Crystal Lake. You can stay right at that hotel.
Yes, you can
have all of the features, not just of the hotel, which is many, but be right where MacStock is going on. And this year in particular, this is the 10th anniversary for MacStock, and it is gonna be a blast. If you are not going, why the hell not?
Come on.
What's wrong with you? Go ahead.
We gotta go.
Get your tickets. Get your passes, and not only MacStock, but Ecamm on the 9th in the same location is having like a mini class just for Mac users to show how to put certain things together with two of their top people, Doc Rock and
Kitty folks.
Yes. And they are going to be there, and believe me, I will be showing them my setup and saying, okay, this is what I did. What am I doing wrong? Because I'm sure there's going to be
Doc's
plenty
going to
there.
say, Guy, you're out of your mind.
Why did you do it like that? You could have.
Why would you put all this stuff and these things here and putting the discombobulator here and there? You know,
you took these 16 steps when it could have been this. Boink. It was like, oh wow, there it is. So go on over to macstockconference.com. and get your tickets for MacStock. There's less than 3 weeks now in order to do so. And
almost two and a half.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks before MacStock comes up. And Dave, I think you have a promo code, don't you?
I do. My promo code is going to be in touch. Yeah, in touch. Yeah.
Yep.
You get $50 off.
$50 off an already great price. And if you have never been to MacStock, think of it as being surrounded by a couple of hundred of your closest friends, because everyone there is great. You'll be able to not only listen to some great speakers, you'll be able to interact with them, get their advice on the things that you want to do. Everyone is super nice and super friendly. There's stuff going on after hours that may involve some adult beverages, but we're not going to talk about that part of it because the conference itself is just so good. So go on over.
And the best part is, I am wrapping up the show. I'm the very last presenter on Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
So you can come see me in 10 years of Apple change lessons and adapting and staying inspired. So think about that. It's got a good presentation.
It's all going to be good. So
all of it.
Go on over to macstockconference.com or just look up MacStock, Google MacStock, stock, bleh, and it'll come up. And
Max.conference.com. Max.conference.com.
Max.conference.com. So just make sure that you check it out. If you're anywhere near the Chicago area, come on, man. Come on over. Spend some time with us. We hardly ever bite anymore.
Don't.
Anymore. So, there is that. But it's going to be a blast. And you won't have more fun this side of the Mississippi. I don't even know what that means. Dave, what have you been up to, sir?
Oh, busy working. Those kinds of things. That thing to pay the bills, But we have some house stuff going on. We're getting a remodel that's been taking up time here. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay with me because I'm always in my office, so that I am here in this undisclosed location. So I don't miss it over there. The only bad thing is there's no kitchen, so I can't cook. So
But there's no kitchen in your place yet?
no, that's what the remodel is. It's a complete
Oh.
remodel. The kitchen and the entire most of the rest of the house. It's just not the bedrooms. So.
Oh, okay. So it's like living in a great big hotel with all your computer stuff.
Oh, but it's good because you know me. I got
Yeah.
crap everywhere.
Yeah, you don't want to see this room. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, that's why I'm blurred.
We're also having some house stuff done. We're having most of the rooms upstairs are painted because a lot of them haven't. I mean, we've lived in this house for 33 years. And last year we did all the downstairs, most of which hadn't ever been repainted since we've been here. Now we're doing the upstairs. The kitchen is fine. We just had that redone not long ago, as well as the living room, but the dining room, the hallway, the foyer, and all of the bedrooms upstairs are going to get painted. And the cats aren't going to be very happy because there'll be lots of strange people in and out of the house. But they'll just have to deal with it. I understand you bought a microphone. I knew I was a good influence on you.
Yeah, but it's only an XLR, which I was dummy and didn't check it, so I can't return it because I bought it through my awards that I get for work. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll never use this mic, to be honest with you, because I love this Rode pod mic. This is the USB and the
so
XLR.
it's the X. Is that it? The pod mic?
This one's the MV7 X. What was this? The MV7? Yeah, MV7X.
Right. MV7.
The other one I have over there is the MV7 Plus, which has both USB and XLR.
Okay, but the pod mic that you have is the later version of it.
That's later, right? This is the USB and the XLR. I have the one that was just XLR because again, I'm become guy. I'm buying so many goddamn mics.
Oh yeah, I've and we were talking about.
You were the fault of this. You sold me those ATR 2000s when I started. So
yes. Well, I had a bunch of them because there's Audio Technica. I don't know if they still have it. They had a warehouse in Northern Virginia, and once a year.
Oh, it's Ohio.
Right, Northern Ohio. Not far away from where Marty lives.
Right.
But they have like incredible prices, and I've only went to it once, and I don't know if they even still do it anymore. But I got there thinking, well, how many people are going to show up for something like this?
A lot.
Oh my God, there were so many people there buying turntables and microphones and speakers. I mean, all of the stuff that Audio Technica makes or, rebrands or what have you. It was all there. I picked up, 2 or 3 ATR 2100s for like $25. And at the time they were going for like 75.
It looks like they've moved it to an outlet store now. You can go online and go look at their certified refurbished.
Really? That's interesting. I was not aware of that. And see, damn it, now I have to go on over to
outlet.audio-technica.com.
Oh, okay. Actually, put that somewhere in the show notes because I'm going to forget that otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the house stuff, because we actually went to to a blinds place today because we're going to replace all the blinds upstairs.
Okay.
It's really been kind of a quiet week. I'm starting to put together my travel kit for MacStock. And so far, I've got 3 microphones. 2 of them are SM57s that have like a really big windscreen on them. Actually, I can probably show you. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. There it is. There it is right there. If you go to watch the video version of it, now the SM57 usually just has like a little, not like the big round head, which is the 58, but the 57 just has like this little plastic cover on it. And so you take that off and then you replace it with this windscreen, and it gives a little more separation. And I actually think it makes it sound a little better. But I got 2 of those, and I've got a Sennheiser 800 series something, also handheld mic. I've got 2.
What mic don't you have? The ones that are very expensive.
Yeah, the super expensive ones, because I would not have remained married if I'd started to buy those. I've got 2 Insta360 little cameras, like this one right here.
I do too. I actually have 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, those things are so nice. And I'll show you what it was I used to use.
This is the Link 2 Pro I just got.
This is what I used to use.
The Sony, yeah.
This is a Sony A5100.
Yeah. What do you need that for? This camera is amazing.
It is.
I can do tracking and whiteboard.
There's software you can zoom in, zoom out. You can blur the background, which I didn't do, and all kinds of things. So I got 2 of those, and then I've also got a.
You mean like this?
Oh! Look at those nose hairs. But I've also got, I think it's a Logitech little USB-C camera. So I've got 2 of the Insta360s, and these are fine. You know, I mean, they really come out nice, especially since YouTube is only 1080K or 1080.
Oh, you can do 4K.
Sort of.
Yeah. You can now. No.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Right now, my camera's set at 720. Now I'm going to just move it right back up to 4K. So that's why it looks so.
Now, which is the one that you're using right here?
This is the Link 2 Pro. This is the newest one.
Okay.
They have the Link 2
and the Link 2C.
The C is the one that it's not without the what do you call it? The spinning thing.
the swivel thing that's supposed to do it all automatic. It does do it all automatically. Right. This is the second one that I haven't even taken
2C.
out of the box yet. Just the regular 2C.
I have one of those too. See?
Yeah.
I'm obsessive.
It's got like a little magnet base that you can put it on, and if you need to like have it go, in one direction or the other, you don't have to adjust anything on the mount that it's on. I mean, it's Insta has a great thing going there.
This is 4K that I'm projecting to you right now.
Yeah, I don't even know what this one is. I'd have to go and look at it. But regardless, I'm really, really happy with the 2C, and I'm glad I don't have this great big huge monster thing on my.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going away from those.
And as everything gets smaller, that's not a bad thing. It certainly means I have to,
especially traveling
stuff. Yeah. Oh, I also have. I think I showed it to you before. The audio interface that I bought, the tiny one that has like 4 XLR inputs. That thing is like freaking amazing.
Zoom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I have one too.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Zoom hardware. I have a microphone of theirs that I think is just garbage. And I had it was a different interface. It was like a single XLR interface that I also didn't think was very good. But this thing,
I had the Zoom H6. That was my first rig, and I still have it.
Well, that's different because that's like a true portable. Not only
it's portable, but you can hook 4 mics and you can put it.
Right.
You can create a podcast with 4 people. Easy.
Yeah. And it's some of that stuff is great, but the stuff that I was buying was apparently garbage because I really didn't care for that microphone.
No, I'm all in on Rode. I'm all in on Rode.
And I still need to set up Ecamm on the laptop.
Well, you better get going.
I
Only
know.
18
Well,
days.
the thing is, I can take the current profile that I have for Ecamm, which is good from 1 to 6 people, and export that, import it into the laptop, and then just make whatever changes that I need to for that.
That's what I have to do. I'm going to put it, because this is my Mac Mini, I'm going to move it over to my MacBook Pro,
I was about to
M5
ask
Pro.
if you were going to put it on the Neo.
No. I mean, it's not going to perform as it should when you're streaming.
No.
It works great in video editing and stuff, but it's not. Yeah,
And it's
even
it's a
Doc Rock said that.
It's a $699 laptop.
Right.
And
It's
for
great
the
for
stuff
travel.
that most people want a laptop for, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
speaking of microphones, I am still loving my Heil
PR
35 microphone. So why don't we go on over, unless you got something else, I think we should go on over to Gaz's snippets. You think?
Sure.
Yeah.
Gaz's snippets, headlines fly, we just clip it. Bite-sized buzz, you won't miss it. Hey, tap in quick, Gaz's snippets blinking, you get the gist of it.
Hey! No, that doesn't have the hey. When I was doing the show with Marty last week, he was saying he was watching my head bounce and he started to do it. And he was like, oh, I got to be kind of careful because I get vertigo or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, well, don't make yourself sick. You know, you got enough problems being on this show all by yourself. First little bit I have here in the I gotcha memory right here department. Tim Cook, the current but outgoing CEO for Apple, has stated that the company is not immune to memory price hikes, and they're working through that with anticipated price hikes coming to the iPhone when it's released this fall. Some analysts looking at standard pricing of components have claimed that the new iPhone could have price hikes up to $13.99, up from last year's $10.99. This assumes that Apple keeps its margins where they have traditionally been in the past. And I can't see Apple wanting to change its margins.
No.
And honestly, we have been protected from a lot of this because Apple makes deals on components so far ahead of time. But with the rapid rise in price of memory and so many other components, I think they were kind of waiting for the prices to come back down, and then they didn't. So now I think most of the deals that they had originally at lower prices have expired or been fulfilled. And now they're having to search for all these same kinds of components along with everyone else. So yeah, it's going to cost more.
I mean, the hard drive prices are just out the roof. I can't believe it. I mean, I wanted to just buy a simple 4 terabytes solid state drive, even just, the standard one like this one, that kind of size drive. And it's like $400 for a 4 terabyte. I mean, that I was picking them up for like less than 200.
Yeah.
It's like more than double. I mean, even I was watching some YouTube videos, and the guy in the music industry, he wanted to, got to buy more drives for backing up data. I mean, he goes to I think it was like a Microsun or whatever, and the drives were $1,300 for the higher capacity drives. So that should be like not even a quarter of that.
Yeah.
So it's just absolutely crazy. Even just you're buying the standard hard drives, not the solid states, and 10, 12, 14 terabytes. You could get them like $200, $300, $400. No, you're talking $800, $900, up to $4,000, even more.
And this is for a spindle drive. We're not talking about digital.
No.
We're talking about a spindle drive, which is what I use in all of my, I've got a JBOD down here that everyone tells me is too loud and I have to turn off before I start doing podcasts. Well, and it is off.
It does. Yeah. It cuts you in and out.
It's a little bit of a helicopter. And So
I mean, I'm not surprised. The same thing with RAM. I mean, you can't even buy RAM for they're darn. I mean, granted, Apple's and most computer companies are integrating RAM now these days. You can't upgrade on your own anymore, but still, it's costing them the money to get those chips when they solder them into the boards.
is like, that's
Yeah.
where everyone seems to be going now.
Right.
And as far as large manufacturers go, Apple was one of the first. But I know both Intel and AMD, as well as some of the other CPU manufacturers, are all kind of looking at what Apple did and going, "Oh, okay." And a lot of that also depends on what kind of operating system that you're running.
Oh, of course.
And the
Right.
apps. Pretty much, in order to get most of the speed benefits, it has to be RISC based, so reduced instruction
Right.
set, as compared to what some operating systems have been, which is CISC based, which is complex instruction set. So we'll see what happens, but I just keep hoping that manufacturing will catch up to demand and it can lower some of these prices, because it's not helping anyone if you have to tack on an extra $400 to $600 just for some of the basic components, not just for computers, but for other devices as well that rely on some of these components. Okay. In the do watches dream of electric sleep department, Apple's historical way of including older models as able to run the latest OS could take a deep turn when watchOS 27 comes out. Apple Watch models 6, 7, 8, and the SE2, as well as the original Ultra model, will be dropped from OS 27 support and only receive security updates going forward. According to Apple, these devices' hardware makes it impossible to run the new OS due sometime in September. Likely, as with many things this go-round, new AI features are demanding more from devices, and older models with slower processors and limited memory are probably the real culprit.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I was just looking for the article that Apple said why they did it, but it just isn't, the speed isn't there. They were very generous when the Series Zero came about, and like we were talking about MacStock, and my very first presentation at MacStock in 2015 was about the Apple Watch. It had only been out for what, 3 or 4 months, and I'm already doing a presentation about it. But anyway, it just comes right down to the chips and what and it being able to handle the performance of what they want it to do. So I mean, unusual for Apple to do that, because iPhones, on the other hand, you're going to support an iPhone 11, you still can upgrade. So go figure.
Yeah. And when the 8 is what, 3 years old now?
8 would be 3 years. Yeah, 9, 2 years.
Well, it's like 3.5 years, because the 12
10
will be coming out.
Yeah, the 10. There's a 10. This current, I have the current watch. That's the 11.
Yeah. And typically, Apple has supported devices going back at least 5 years, or at least 4 iterations of the hardware. Not counting, of course, swapping from when they went from 68K to PowerPC, or PowerPC to Intel, or Intel to Silicon, which is a whole nother animal. But within those design parameters, they have usually made it so that the various operating systems for these devices go back at least 4 generations.
Yeah. Here's the quote that came from Apple's David Clark. He's the senior director of watchOS and software engineering. He said, they asked him, why is this the case? And he says, one of the goals of the watchOS 27 is to expand upon the intelligence story on the Apple Watch, making a true co-partner into Apple Intelligence. Doing so by being a first point of contact as a wearable is a convenient place to house the microphone and asking the S-Ladies for questions. So they say, we really want to make sure the S-Lady experience is singular and consistent. And well, because that's the case, these processors can't handle it. There you go. That's why they did it.
Yes. All right. In the less filling displays great department, A new iPad mini could be right around the corner, featuring a faster processor, a more water resistant design. What?
Yeah.
Possibly larger. Come on. OLED display and a higher price. Current iPhones use a 120 hertz ProMotion panel, and the reasoning is that the new iPad mini could do the same. Some are also claiming that to use this display, the size would have to increase from 8.3 inches to as much as 8.7 inches. This, along with soaring memory prices, could add hundreds of dollars to the new mini. Um, if you have a mini that is barely an inch smaller than your standard 9.7 inch or 11 or
Well,
9.7
it's
inch
8.
iPad.
It's 8 inch.
Okay, how's that mini? It's okay, it's smaller, but it's really not
Mini,
mini.
it can fit in your hand, in most people's hands.
Will that still happen if it goes to 8.7 inches?
I can see it. Um, I mean, the processor is the big thing.
Yeah.
It's working on that next generation of iPad Mini, and it's gonna probably feature the A19 Pro processor, which is what the MacBook Neo is running right now. And
I thought that was the 18 Pro.
or is that the 18? I thought it was a 19. No, I could
No,
be wrong.
it's the 18 Pro.
Yeah. So this is the 19, the next generation above
Yeah.
it. So that was so that's the 17, I believe, runs that chip. You're right.
Yeah.
And so because that chip came out when that's right, when that chip came out with the iPhone Air that's out now. So it's going to be what the iPad Mini 8. I mean, they're still interest, and people really love that iPad. You know, I bought it for my wife; she loves it. It's just small, it's nice. Doing it with book readers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the big thing. People like to use them for that, and surprisingly, even the market for the older iPad Minis are still popular because they're perfectly fine as just a book reader, really, if that's what they want. But there is a possibility that I'm just looking through Mac rumors here that they may opt for the A20 chip for the new iPad Mini. So it's a possibility, may just move right up to the next version right off the bat, which would probably make sense if it's not going to be coming out this fall. If they've
Or if
already
they
got
let
the
it go until
processors,
next year.
because we're going to go into the assumption that the iPhone 18 is probably going to have the A20 processor, but who knows with the whole thing with the chip shortages and storage and memory, that it may be delayed. But I would probably think that if they obviously, if there's an interest with the iPad Mini, then that makes sense. Because there was times they hadn't come up with a new model for quite a few years. You know, they kind of ignored it a little bit. That was kind of like the way the Mac Mini was for a while, until finally they realized, yeah, there's a pretty good market for this, and now they see even more than ever because all the AI companies are buying them up like crazy, and that's why there's none left. But that's another story. But
Yeah,
it's it's with these iPads. I kind of in the same boat, but I'm not surprised.
I have a M1 iPad Pro,
That's
which
perfect.
is starting to get long in the tooth, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's 4 years old now.
Yeah, I've got the M4. So
I might replace it with an iPad Mini. The most because when I originally got it, I was like, okay, well, this could be that device that I could hook all these things and do this and do that, especially when
yeah,
the iPad came out where it was, the operating system was more Mac-ish like. Um, but what I've discovered is I'm mostly using it to read books, play games, watch movies. And do I need a smart keyboard for that? No. Do I need a 12.9-inch screen for that? No. So I'm thinking my next one might be like a 512 meg iPad mini, something that is
yeah, there you go.
truly portable. But we'll see. My last story for this week, in the Find Me, Hide Me department, A new feature in iOS 27 is the ability to temporarily hide your locations from specific people, and these are people that you have shared your locations with in the past, until the end of a day with no notification given to the other person that you've done this for or with. Apple's explanation is that you could use this for surprise parties, which is just so adorable. Picturing 20 people all hiding their location from the recipient at the same time. Absolutely no potential issues. And since each person is tech savvy, this should work like a charm. A slightly less awe-inspiring feature, though still useful, is Find Me adding landscape mode, which I didn't realize it didn't have before.
Check that.
Okay. He's got it right there.
iPhone 17e.
Yeah. Well, mine is still a 16 Pro.
No, this is my beta phone.
Oh, that's your beta phone. Okay. Well, I put beta on my 16 Pro because I'm an idiot. I share my location with my wife.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Kids. Okay, so it is in landscape mode. Nice. And that's pretty much all that I share that with. I have yet to run into a situation, though I guess with MacStock coming up, I might have to share my location with you since I'm driving. And if we're going to meet at, what's the name of the place with the Chicago style pizza?
Oh, Lou's, yeah.
At Lou's. Go to Lou's, everybody.
Lou Malnati's.
I'll get there sometime on Wednesday. Maybe we can get together then. Or maybe after the eCam class on Thursday, we can figure that out.
Yep.
And again, this is the nice thing about MacStock, since it's at a hotel and you can stay at the hotel, you can park your car and just leave it there. You won't have to use it for 4 days. Okay. Well, that's all I've got for Gaz's Snippets.
Last flash from Gaz's Snippets. Apple news on the brain. Scroll it, swipe it. That's the segment. Now we're jumping off the train. One more ping, then silence. Hit the logo, fade to black. Gaz signed off on Apple headlines. Till the next drop brings us back.
Hey. Whoop, did I get a mark in there? I think I did. Hey. We're going to move right over to the main topic for this week, which is Crippled OS. Features from the new series of Apple OSs has hardly even been announced. And we already have entire sections of the planet that want to either strip out those features or delay them significantly. The biggest one by feature set is the EU, mostly due to regulations from the digital marketing app, in China because, well, China. The restrictions are as follow. S-Lady AI on the phone and iPad. For the EU, not available at launch due to DMA. And for China, just says not available at launch. Siri app for revisiting conversations, not available in the EU at launch. China, not available at launch. Expanded visual intelligence, not available in the EU at launch. Not available at launch in China either. Integrated writing tools, not available in the EU at launch. And in China, not available at launch. Siri, but I didn't say that. S-Lady mode in camera, not available in the EU at launch. And for China, not reported as available at launch. And lastly, tap to share, not available in the EEA, which, and I never even heard of that before, which includes the EU plus Iceland, Liechtenstein. I think I said that right, or close enough. If you're from Liechtenstein and I didn't say it right, you can get a hold of me on the telephone number and email address. It's at the bottom of it's right there. It's right there, bottom of the screen. And Norway. And for China, no confirmed restriction found so far. Now, most of these issues revolve around user data, which Apple wants to defend or anonymize, while the EU's digital marketing app would suggest that all user data should be available to other AI and apps. Now, where the DMA comes in, this is EU's law to make digital markets fairer and more contestable by imposing obligations on gatekeeper platforms like Apple and partially as well Google and Facebook and others. Apple says EU regulators are interpreting the DMA in a way that requires Apple to give any virtual assistant direct access to users' private data, messages, files, photos, passwords, purchases, files, and account settings, requires that the assistant to have direct control over other installed applications, acting what is that word? Autonomously. Wow, I said it. Without ongoing user visibility and control, and does not allow Apple to enforce the privacy and security protections that it has built into S-Lady AI, such as on-device processing and private cloud computing. Apple argues that this creates serious security risks, especially as AI systems become more capable and easier to hijack to steal data and alter files and settings without consent. And I'm going to stop there for a second to get your opinion on this so far, Dave.
Be honest, the way everything's been going in the EU and in China, there's so many restrictions. I mean, EU more so than ever, because China, we already know because that reason, because
China.
of they're China.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, China.
I think everything a lot's changed in the last few years. The way all these restrictions have been happening with privacy concerns and such, which is great. They should be. Why isn't the United States being active with this as well? But no, I'm not surprised at all that this is happening. I mean, I don't know how else you can get around this. You can't. I mean, or Apple's going to have to adjust what Apple Intelligence is going to be able to do. I mean, they're not going to do that. They already had dirt in their face because they delayed 2 years after saying all these great things about it. And then here we are 2 years later in 2026 saying, oh yeah, here it is, Apple Intelligence. We can do this now and this and that. And everybody's already been doing the reviews and saying how great it is. And well, yeah, because
unless you're in the EU.
Unless you're in the EU, right? So and it's going to hurt them because that's a pretty good sized market. Both places, actually. China's been growing too. So,
China's a huge market for Apple. But I mean, these are two different regions with two completely different reasons. Wow,
right?
That was hard to say.
You pulled it off.
I know for implementing some of these features, and for China, it's really about direct government control. And, I don't, this is not a political show, but, we can call a spade. And that's a lot of it right there is China wants to be able to see everything that their citizens are doing on phones and computers from within their country. And frankly, they would love to be able to see everybody else's as well. But that, again, that's another story.
Right.
The EU is approaching it in such a way that, taken on the surface, it's really hard to find fault with, is that we want to make it fair for other stores and other platforms to be able to do the same things on an iPhone that people can do with Apple applications. Same thing with, if you open up and have third-party stores and all the rest of that. And Apple has reluctantly, and for, good reasons or bad, said this is a security issue. And if you want to have the ability to have other stores and other payment methods, that's fine. But they don't want to use the various Apple payment methods to get involved with that, because there's all kinds of security issues related to downloading uncurated applications and using mostly uncurated forms of payment that can just bounce back and hit a user right in the face. And when that happens, who do they get mad at? They're not going to get mad at whoever or whatever the store was, because they probably don't understand that was where the problem lied. They're going to get mad at Apple. This happened on my iPhone, so it's Apple's fault. And it's like, if you want to have less problems, and if you want to have more privacy and better security, the way you do that is you use the iPhone. And I know I'm such an Apple freaking fanboy. You use the iPhone the way that Apple designed it, with the applications that Apple put in place that puts your privacy and your protection ahead of everything else, including, in some cases, themselves and app developers.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else to interpret it. I think the problem with the EU DMA is that it's all encompassing. And I don't know if anyone is at the wheel of that and looking at it and saying, oh, well, maybe we should make some changes to this section of it, or add a section to cover this right here, because it doesn't seem to me like it's changed from beyond we want other people to be able to use other stores and download sites and all the rest of that. So I guess we'll see what happens. Now, Apple did propose a solution to make S-Lady AI work in the EU under the DMA. And these were the two solutions it came up with. Trusted System Agent, an intermediary that would let virtual assistants safely access the same capabilities as S-Lady AI while maintaining security and privacy protections. 2, a gradual 18-month rollout of S-Lady AI in the EU, introducing safety designs over time. The EU said no to all of Apple's proposals and did not accept any solution that would allow S-Lady AI to operate in the EU while safely supporting other virtual assistants.
Yeah, it's a mess, honestly. Then where does Apple go? You don't know. I mean, they're fighting a uphill battle with this. That's really all I can say.
And and the big problem isn't just that Apple users in the EU won't have access to S-Lady AI and some of the other features that we talked about earlier. It's that Apple will have to maintain 2 completely different versions of iOS and iPadOS, which is mostly what we're talking about here, in order to keep the EU happy. And what it's going to take to make China happy, I have no idea. There hasn't really been anything said.
Yeah.
What will make China happy? Well, I don't know. You got anything else on this?
I don't.
And I forgot to do a tip, so there's no tip this week. But I'll play the song in case people don't know what it is.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. All I'm gonna do with that. Dave, do you have a for pick's sake this week?
I do. I just watched this show last night. It was really good. It's on Netflix. It's called Breakdown 1975, and it's a retrospect of the year 1975, because we're coming up on our 250th anniversary, and then this was leading into to our 200th anniversary of the country, the bicentennial. Yep. So very, very interesting. a lot of stuff didn't know, a lot of things I didn't know. I was pretty young back then. You were older than me, so you were, if you
Doesn't
were,
mean I
if you were
remember
actually,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
during that
15.
time. But
That was kind of
um,
a turbulent
yeah,
time for
just
me in South
just
Florida.
after the impeachment of Nixon and
Yeah,
Ford and
and
all that,
Watergate and the Vietnam War
and
and
then the
so
way
many things.
and what really made the interesting part of it was the technology, because you think about 1975, that's the first year of Apple being in business, and they were
Well, no,
still
76 was
oh sorry,
April
76 was
1st.
that's right. So it was a year before.
But
A year after, right?
there were personal computers
There
available.
were. They of course talked to Bill Gates about when he came out with the Altair
Yeah.
and the new operating system of DOS, and that was like the start of the technology where it was going. I mean, because you didn't have what we have today. If you think back where those are back in those days, oh boy, it's a bit different than it
Yeah,
is today.
and we're talking what 50 years ago is what we're
Right?
talking about here.
51, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, well, 51 years ago, very few people had a personal computer. Almost nobody had a
Right.
personal computer. Other than Pong, very few
Yeah,
people
and
had
he
game
showed it.
systems.
Bill was
Oh,
talking
did
about
they?
it, and we were
Okay.
playing, and you got the ball up at the top, and it went.
Yep. Every single phone was a landline. You actually had to memorize people's telephone
Right.
numbers. I know, crazy talk.
SH35700.
Yeah.
The letters.
Empire
Yeah.
today. There were so many things that were different then. If there for the most, if you wanted to watch TV, you had to be in front of that TV when that show aired, or you
Yeah.
couldn't see it until
Nope.
reruns came around. If even then, if the show was
Right.
canceled or what have you.
Right.
So it was a very different kind of life, and there were
Yeah.
people who would literally put off going out at night because there was a TV show they wanted to watch at 10 o'clock or whatever on a Friday
Right.
night.
Right.
And that was just the way things were.
That it
And
was, and
kids played outside for the most part. They weren't just hanging around inside the house playing video games or whatever. They actually had to go outside and use their imaginations.
yeah.
Oh, the horror.
The horror. No, it was. I mean, Jodie Foster's narrating it. She's really good. And
Yeah.
they had a number of interviews, including Martin Scorsese, Ellen
Mhm.
Burstyn, Oliver Stone, Seth Rogen, Bill Gates, among many others. Was really good, really well done. I enjoyed it. It was like my hour and a half of your time. It was worth. I was worth watching. They released it late in 2025, but hey, I stumbled across it. I was like, oh, let me watch this tonight. So
I'm
I
gonna
recommend
have
it.
to check that out because, like we were saying
Netflix.
earlier, there is a whole lot of 1975 that isn't really clear to me for various reasons.
We won't go there.
Damn, I didn't put a for pick's sake in this week either, so I
I
don't
thought,
have
I thought, I,
one.
s- I thought,
No,
I
that
thought
was
I
the one I
saw
had
that.
last week.
Oh, okay. Well,
Which I mean, it's still
and
a great book.
and I thought
Retro-
I took care of you, buddy.
yeah, Retrocade, which is free with Apple Arcade. Lots of classic 80s video games, Pacman, Galaga, and a whole bunch of others. And it's free if you have Apple Arcade.
There you go.
All right. If you would like to support this show with all of the mistakes that I make almost every single week, you can do so by buying me a coffee at ko-fi.com/MacParrot. You can also pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. Not a whole lot in the way of feedback this week, though I do have an audio feedback. Somebody sent Mac Jim, who was longtime listener and friend of the show, did send something, but sent it to Gaz. So Gaz had to redirect it toward me. And this is what Mac Jim had to say.
For witty and intelligent conversation, the G-Men is not the show for you.
So if you missed that, I'm going to play it again.
For witty
I
and intelligent conversation, the G-Men is not the show for you.
Now, Mac Jim is Scottish.
Ah.
And I'm going to interpret this. He's basically saying, if you're a fan of intelligent conversation, the GMen Show is not for you. This is what we call a bumper. It's a humorous bumper. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it was meant to be humorous, and it's under 10 seconds. And that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, Guy and Gaz are like the greatest thing since avocado toast, because we're not. But we have a good time doing the show, and hopefully Gaz will be back on very, very soon.
Yes.
But these little 5 to 10 second snippets, audio snippets that you can send to us, I play on the audio version of the show, not just like right here, but eventually at the very beginning of the show, like for this week, for example, Dave will come on and say, well, here's, GMen Show 41, da, 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 da. And then the theme song will start. And then after the theme song, you'll hear a bumper. And then the bumper fades, music comes back up, starts to fade, and then I start to talk, at which point you can just turn everything off. That's how that works. But that's a bumper, and we love bumpers. And if you make me a bumper or do any kind of review or something that helps to support the show, greatly appreciated. I will send you a Woody.
Ooh,
This is a big deal.
it is.
I know, Dave, you are asking me through the power of telepathy. Hey, Guy.
What is a Woody?
See, I knew that. I knew that right away. A Woody, Dave, is a big W, big O, big T, little I, little E, exclamation mark. That's a Woody.
Nice.
You have one.
I
You
do
have
somewhere.
several, I think. Because we sent
Somewhere.
you one when you were on the MyMac podcast.
Very first time.
And
Years ago.
I think I also sent you, have I sent you one since we switched over to the G-Men?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good. But Woodies are amazing. It will change your life. It will make you look at your place in the universe in a different way. If you're religious, no, it won't change anything if you're religious, but that's just the way that works. If you would like to contact Dave and say, Dave, you have been on this show several times over the last few months. Is there a reason why you keep inflicting this on yourself? How would they say that to you?
Yes, I don't. Sometimes I wonder, but you can go to In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com, the YouTube channel, youtube.com/In Touch with iOS, and I'm on various podcasts, including the Neo Notebook, Vision Profiles, Mac Voices Live, and then we have a new show we just started. It's the Tech Hangout. That's on Friday mornings. Come check us out on the techhangout.com. Yeah, with Patrice
I'm
and
going to see if I can get in
John.
on that.
Yeah, you can. You're more than welcome. It's Friday mornings. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Come check it out.
Is that another Marty show, or was that?
It's a Patrice show.
Oh, it's a Patrice show. Oh, I'll have to make sure it's okay with her first then.
I'll ask her, and I don't think she'll have a problem.
And I will likely, I cannot promise, but I will try to be on my best behavior. And anyone who has watched Mac Voices when either Jeff or myself have been on, or In Touch with iOS on Thursday nights at 8:00 live on YouTube.
Yes. Oh yeah, BlueSky, Mastadon, Dave G65.
It gets weird. It sometimes gets weird.
Well, you are weird. That's our story.
Weird. Yeah, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody at this point. Following this show for any length of time, he's an old weird man. If you would like to contact us, the email address is gmenshow, GMENSHOW at iCloud.com. It's right down there at the bottom of the screen if you're watching the video. You can also contact us on the Twacksters and the Skies of Blue as either MacParrot or VertShark. If you'd like to get a hold of Gaz, he's on Mastadon as GazMaz, GazMaz at c.im for Mastodon, and on Skies of Blue. And we are both keeping track of Guy and Gaz, GUYANDG8Z, over on Twacksters and Skies of Blue. Now, we also have a Google Voice number.
guy has a Google voice number. The G-Men want your call. Call him now.
Call us now. That number is 703-828-4677. Outside the U.S., you can still call it. Use the U.S.'s country code, which is 1, then the number, and you may incur charges if you dial it directly. And for those of you who are not watching the YouTube version of this show, where the number is right down there at the bottom of the screen, can't miss it. It's right there. Here's the number one more time.
703-828-4678.
That's right, Dave. That number is 703-828-46. And you just call that number and your audio can be on the show. So, that's your incentive. Yeah. Other stuff, Guy's Daily Drive, which is an archive of all the ones I did starting around 2018 on my way to work. And Tales from the AI Verse, which is like a turtle, as slow as that's rolling out. Eventually there'll be episode 3. I don't know when. But Dave, this is the sad part of the show.
It is.
It breaks my heart every single time. We have to say goodbye. And I would like to say, on behalf of Dave and myself, to everyone who has downloaded and listened to the show, that it is, all kidding aside, greatly appreciated. Love you all. Please, please tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Walk up to complete strangers in the mall of your choice, shake them by the shoulders and say, you should be listening to the GMen Show. We will not take any legal responsibility if you so do that, or if you do that. So I know there's a way to say that without it sounding stupid, but can't find it. Whatever you do, it's on you, not on us. Just because I tell you to do something, consider the source, people. Really. Why? Why would you do that? But Dave, I think that this week we were good enough. And that with the addition of you, that we were smart enough. And that, doggone it, Woof. Wolf. Wilf. That's the dog's actual name, is Wilf. I'm sure that means something. Gaz will have to tell me. I can't remember if I've ever actually asked him. But people like us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm continuing on with something that Gaz started just because I enjoy it. And I like inflicting pain on my guests, which is dad jokes. Now, Dave, my AI assistant keeps correcting me. I'm starting to miss being wrong in peace.
Oh, gosh.
I asked my AI to act human. It immediately started procrastinating. I asked my AI to tell me a secret. It said, your password is 1234. And with that, I say,
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and go home.